head coach of the New Hampshire Avalanche. Chris, this is a tough one, but first, your thoughts of the game.
I thought it was a great hockey game. I mean, the North Division rivals playing the Wolves. We've had great games against them all season long, and hey, they beat us. That was it. Not much I can say. It was a great game all around. I think goaltending was great, defense was great. I just think the pace was perfect. It was a playoff hockey game.
This is the fourth time we've had the Frozen Finals. It's going to be the first time we'll have the Avalanche in the championship game. Has it set in for you?
No, not really. I mean, it's part of hockey, right? You win some, you lose some, and just to get here is tough in our league, especially this year. And getting out of the North is tough. I think the second half was really tough in our division, and all the teams fought all the way, and just getting here was. I'm proud of our team for just getting here.
And that's what I was going to say next. You lose the game 2-0, you lose the game 2-1. I know you don't win those games, but you're in both of them.
Yeah, we were snake bitten. We couldn't score. Our big guns, Carlson, Tersoni, and Hotchkiss, didn't really do much offensively. They played well, but they didn't produce offensively. Kyle Dan, who's been hot all playoffs, was a little quiet in these two games. But that happens, right? Hockey's all about streaks and momentum, and we just didn't have that offensive momentum. We played well, but we didn't have that offensive momentum.
You mentioned a couple of names in Dan and Hotchkiss who can come back, but there's a bigger list of names that can't come back. They're going to college. What do you want to say to those guys before they go?
I mean, looking at our line chart, I think this year we'll finish with 20 NCAA commitments. It's enormous for us as a program, and they're all going to go to school next year and do well. They're going to work and they're going to compete, and I look forward to watching. I'm very proud of those guys.
Thank you, Chris. Congrats on a good season.
Thanks.
Let's bring Tim Kuhns in now. Tim Kuhns, head coach, New England Wolves, just came off a 2-1 victory. First, take us through your thoughts of the game.
Yeah, I think like Coach Sorella just said, was a really tight game, playoff game. Either side could have won, and one play at the end was the difference for us.
And that play was made by Julius Cavano. I mean, you got a bunch of great players on your team, but he just keeps standing out. Talk about what he means to your program.
Yeah, I can't say enough about the guy. Played there 2 years ago, couldn't make it last year because of COVID. He's the captain of the team. He's the defense of the year. He's a top player in the league, and we're very lucky to have him.
And you've been labeled as a dark horse on the podcast this week, but in your mind, I'm sure you felt that you were that way the entire time. When you start the season the way that you did, to get to this point, how does it make you feel?
Yeah, it feels great. It's it's a credit to those guys on our team. We've worked all year to be where we're at. We had to crawl back from a slow start, but we're playing great right now, and I know in our room we don't feel like dark horses.
Okay. And then I'm going to ask you a similar question to what I asked Josh Holmes from yesterday, which is your next opponent. You lost game 1 against the Lumberjacks, and then you ended up in overtime in that same series. You were one bounce away from potentially your season ending. How did you get here?
Yeah, I mean, the first series we were in overtime against Vermont. We played against Boston Rangers in overtime. So, it's the playoff time. Those small bounces can go either way, but you have to step up and make those plays to score in overtime. And it was a big play from not just Julius, but Pavel Svoboda. Now we're moving on. So.
And you're going on, so you're in a really interesting situation right now because you're playing Walpole again tomorrow, who you won't play Saturday, but you're playing potentially for seeding. How are you going to approach that game?
Yeah, we'll regroup with the other members of my staff, and think about it as we move on the weekend here. But right now, just enjoying a good victory for our team.
Well, congrats, you deserve it.
Thank you.